Hi, I'm Lexi Rose, and today we're going to be doing my February wrap-up reads. So, in total, I have read a total of 5 books this month. Some of them are like my Kindle reads, and then others are my actual physical books. I also will add the fact that I've been reading, technically it's 6 books, but I don't really think I'm gonna count the 6th book because I'm currently reading it and I haven't actually finished it yet. The 6th book being Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I am currently on chapter 33. Currently I'm on chapter 33 of that book. I'm really liking that book. I can't wait for the second one. I'm probably gonna pre-order it depending on what my bank account thanks. But yeah, I'm liking the book so far. Like I said, I'm on chapter 33. I would say out of all of the books for this year, that is the one that I'm most anticipating to be one of my favorite books. But I guess we'll see. I'm only in the middle of the book. So I'm only 40%. On Goodreads it says I'm 47 to 50% done with the book. I'm so excited to see how it ends because I actually don't know how it's gonna go. When I read a book, I don't really have a lot of expectations. I just kind of read for pure entertainment. I'm not thinking of how the book is gonna end. I'm not the kind of person that can instantly guess the ending. End of the book is none of my business until I get there. And that's just how I feel about it. Anyway, let's just get started. Starting off strong with Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. This is the second book in the Letters of Enchantment duology. Oh, this is coming off. It's the second book in the Letters of Enchantment duology. I rated this book 4 stars. Now, I like this book. I will be honest with you. There were moments that I was not a fan of this book, and I think that just has to do with the pacing of the book. The book is a lot slower compared to the first book, and the first book has its slow moments, but the second book, if I had to pick, Divine Rivals is a lot better, but I don't hate this book, it's just fine. I think there were a lot of things in this book that could have been left out. I also wish that this book was more so in Roman's point of view, more so than Iris's point of view. And I think that because Roman is put in this kind of interesting position in this book, and he is literally working with the enemy, but he's kind of playing double agent, and I wish we had seen more of him in this book rather than Iris. And I'm not saying that I don't like Iris's point of view, but I wish there was more of Roman in this book. I think there should have been more. I think the book should have started with Roman and then gone with Iris. I say that because the more interesting part of the books were in Roman's point of view. Not that, again, I don't like Iris's point of view, but I just feel like this book is good, but I feel like there were just certain things that should have been left out. But I did like it. I gave it 4 stars. It was fun. It took me a long time to read because I don't know. It wasn't a 5-star because of how long of the pacing and the fact that at the end, it just kind of ends when we're not given really a lot of context as to okay, now what? Now what's going to happen? But other than that, I did like this book. Will I read it again? Probably not. Maybe later on down the line, I will read both books I will read both books, the first and the second one, back to back. As of right now, I don't see myself rereading it anytime soon. But that's Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Like I said, the first book is good. I love the first book. The first book, funnily enough, was the first book that was an ACOTAR that I read. And it was actually the first book on my Kindle that I ever read. I was just scrolling through my Kindle one day and seeing what was on Kindle Unlimited, and I found Divine Rivals, and I ended up loving that book. It's so good. I would recommend it 1,000 times. It doesn't have a lot of smut and sex in it, but the story is just so good. Anyway, I liked Ruthless Vows, but not as much as I really loved Divine Rivals. Okay, and then immediately after finishing Ruthless Vows, I was so excited for this book. I literally remember when I saw the cover of this book and I thought, I want that book. I know I want that book. I want to see if I'm going to like it. Now, this book is by Ali Hazelwood. It's Bride. It's called Bride. This book is so good. I read this book in the span of 22 hours, which is the fastest I think I've ever finished a book. Like I said, I think I've said this before, I'm a new reader. So it takes me like a week or so to finish a book if I'm really, really into it. Like, for example, Powerless. Powerless could be finished by the 1st or 2nd of March, you know what I mean? Because I'm reading it so much. But oh my God, I devoured this book. This is a really fast-paced book. I really love this book. It is so good. I had so much fun with it, and I loved it. Anyway, let's talk about what it's about. So we have our girl Misery. She is the daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, and she's an outcast. She lives among humans, and she has been called upon to uphold an alliance, and she basically has to marry the alpha of the werewolf pack, and his name is Lo Morlun, and he rules the pack with absolute authority, which actually is not true. That's a lie, because that's not how he rules his pack. But anyway, it's clear, you know, he kind of watches over Misery while they're married. It starts off with them getting married. It doesn't even wait. I love that it doesn't waste time. It gives us little background information of like what happened before, but it goes straight into the marriage, and I really love that. But she agrees to this marriage of convenience, and the entire book is her figuring out what happened to someone that she really loved, and the last thing that she knew about this person. So her friend is missing, and her friend was looking into the wares, but she doesn't know why. And the last name of the person that she's looking for, their last name is Morlun. So, and yeah, their last name is Morlun. And she's like, oh, so if I marry this man, I get complete, utter inside knowledge of, you know, I can get some inside knowledge of what happened to my friend. So that is her kind of situation. Oh my God, this book is so good. It is so good. I never thought I would really like the marriage of convenience trope, or, you know, this forced proximity trope. It's so good. I love the way Lo treats Misery. There's a scene where Misery is hurt, like she gets poisoned, and he is not leaving her bedside. At that point, they had only been married for like a week, and he like calls her his wife, even though technically they're not in love by any means at all, but he like protects her, and oh my God, it's so good. I love this book so much. The only problem I have with this book is that it's not dual point of view. It's only a Misery's point of view, but at the beginning of every chapter we get Lo's point of view. So he says she makes him laugh, it's no small gift. Or like, what else does he say? She makes him want to draw again. His touch seems to comfort her, and that thought fills him with pride and purpose. Oh my God, it's just so good. I really like this book. This book is a very fast-paced book. It's smutty, it's spicy, it's sexy. It's really good. And I bought it because I really like this fantasy paranormal thing. I never thought I would like it, but I wanted to try it because I thought maybe I'll try it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But I really liked Bride. It's so good. It's amazing. I loved it. Anyway, I gave it 4 stars. I would have given it 5 stars had it been a little longer and had it been in dual point of view. I also really loved that it very much doesn't like waste time. I think I said it was fast paced. It's fast paced, and it's fast paced in a way where it's like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what we're gonna do. This is blah 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 blah. The story is just so good. I can't rave enough about it. Go read it. It's so good. All right. Anyway, next up we have Study and Drowning by Ava Reed. This book is about a girl named Effie, and she is a architecture student at a college, and she's the only girl in her architecture college, and there is a contest for redesigning her favorite author's home, and she takes the opportunity. I mean, if I got an opportunity to redo like Sarah J. Maas's estate, or even like Rebecca Ross's estate or something, I would take it as well. I would not even hesitate to take that opportunity. So she takes it, and she gets invited to, she's one of the students that gets to go and redo this estate. But when she gets there, it's not an easy task. It's not something that she can do in the span of like a couple months. This is like a big, like, undertaking renovation situation. But while she's there, there's a guy named Preston who is there to basically figure out the secrets that this author is hiding. So in this estate, the son is still alive. The author that Effie really likes, his dad, he died like 6 months ago. Effie and Preston, Preston is there to figure out this author's like secrets, and Effie is like the author's biggest stan. She's like, no, he's not a liar. He would never do that. And they basically, come to an agreement and they work together to figure out what this author is hiding and why the son is being very cagey about things. So it's like an ongoing investigation, like a mystery almost. But this book is really good. I give this 4 stars. It's this YA fantasy. It has very little romance. It has like this enemies to lovers trope a little bit because Preston and Effie are from very different worlds. He's kind of stuck up and snobbish, and she is this kind of pretending to be snobbish, even though she's not. She's kind of an outcast in her own school, and she's got a lot of issues. There are some things that happen at her school, and it kind of causes her to have a little bit of a trauma. This book has a very big theme of misogyny and mental health, and it's really good. I really like it. It was a lot deeper than I thought it was gonna be. It was actually the first time I've read like a dark academia. I would say this is kind of light academia, but what do I know? This book is really good. I really liked it. It was it was so funny because it's kind of funny because I went from Ruthless Vows, which is this kind of historical romance, to Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which is a paranormal romance with like some comedic reliefs in it. It has its funny moments. It's, like I said, it's really good. To light academia, young adult, with these kind of very serious themes of mental health and misogyny. And it was just very much a stark contrast to Bride. Anyway, I really liked Study and Drowning by Amber Reed. I would read more books by her. I don't know, I would have to look up if she's written anything else that I would like. But anyway, those are all the books that I read physically for this month. Let's get into my Kindle reads. Alright, so let's go over my Kindle reads. Okay, so I'm not on the floor anymore because I didn't want to be on the floor anymore. So the books I'm going to talk about are a part of a series, a long series. Well, I guess to some people it's a long series. It's 6 books. So there is Guild, which is the first book, Glit, which is the second book, Gleam and Glow, which are the third and fourth book. That's what we're going to be talking about. The 5th book is called Gold, and the last book, which I don't know if it's the last book or not, I don't know. That one hasn't come out yet, though. It's called Goldfinch. Okay, so the overall story is about Arin, King Midas's favorite. She is literally painted gold, and she lives in a she lives in a gold cage. Think of like a bird cage. That's essentially what it is. And she is his favorite, and she's been expected to be seen and not heard. The story has this kind of overall theme of like Stockholm syndrome and, finding your identity, because essentially Arin realizes at some point that King Midas does not love her, does not care about her, and she wants out. She wants out of the cage. So the 3rd book is her trying to play the game of like giving Midas what he wants, but also figuring out a way out. She doesn't want to be in her cage anymore. After the events of the 2nd book, where she kind of wakes up, she doesn't want to be in her cage anymore. And Midas does not like that because he realizes that she is not his brainwashing is kind of wearing off. Like she's kind of waking up and realizing, wait, this is not how it's supposed to be. So she has an actual love interest, and that's kind of who we get introduced to in the 2nd book, and he kind of helps her wake up essentially. And it's just so good. I really like the 2nd book. But Gleam is essentially about her trying to escape, and Midas kind of sinking his claws more into her. Like up until this point, Midas is a manipulator. He's a very bad person. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever thought I could hate someone as much as I hate King Midas in this Plate of Prisoner series. So the entirety of the 3rd book, like I said, is Arin trying to get out, and the love interest trying to help her, and Midas kind of figuring out any way he can to stop that. So the last part of the book leads to the situation that happens in the 4th book, which is Glow. Gleam was really good. I really like Gleam. I'm sorry I sound like I'm not saying as much about it, but I don't want to spoil it. So I'm just gonna say the cliffhanger's really good, the execution's really good, the storyline works. I do like the fact that the villain, which is King Midas, spoiler alert, that's not really a spoiler because it's just not. You'll know it's not a spoiler if you read the first book. But the way King Midas realizes that Aaron is not, his tricks of getting her to be submissive isn't working, and so he starts being even more manipulative and even more kind of paranoid, and it's really scary to see because he believes that she belongs to him. He believes that, and she is realizing, I don't belong to anyone. I belong to me. I don't choose you. I don't want to be with you anymore. And he doesn't like that. And obviously, it leads to the explosive finale of the third book, leading us into the fourth book. The fourth book, I rated also 4 stars, so both books were 5 stars. I said 4 stars. The fourth book and the third book were both 5-star books for me. I loved both of them. I loved the third book, but the fourth book just was really, I don't know, it just upped the ante. I love kind of going, Aaron, something happens at the end of the third book, and it kind of changes her whole mindset, and she realizes, I need to do this. I don't want to be weak anymore. I want to do A, B, and C. And she kind of has this kind of self-discovery situation or journey, I guess. And it leads to what I think it leads to, the ending of the fourth book and going into the fifth book. I don't want to read Gold yet because the fifth book comes out in August, and that's 5-6 months away. And I think I'm going to read Gold right around that time so that I can kind of pick up where I left off, because if I know anything about the Flighted Prisoner series, it's that I know dang well that there's going to be an explosive cliffhanger, and I'm going to want the next book right after that. So, anyway, yeah, so those are my Kindle reads. I really liked all of the books that I read this month. They were all fun, and they were all good in their own way. I will say, I think my favorites are Bride, obviously. Bride, Gleam and Glow, Study and Drowning, and then Ruthless Vows. If I had to, rank them, those are my rankings. Like I said, I liked Ruthless Vows, but it was not as good as her older sister, Divine Rivals, which is fine. It was just okay, So, alright, so before I end the video, I would like to show you guys some books that I got at Barnes & Noble this week. I went, I think on Monday? Monday, was it? I think it was Monday. So I went to Barnes & Noble with my cousin and her fiance, and I picked up 3 books, and let's talk about them. So, first things first. The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. So I got this book. I was told on TikTok that I would really enjoy The Fake Mate if I really liked Bride, and I liked the vibes of Bride, then I should read The Fake Mate by Lana Ferguson. I've already read a book by her, surprisingly. I read The Nanny by her. I read that around, I want to say, January, maybe November, and I really liked it, but this seems to be right up my alley, considering, like I said, I cannot say it enough, I really enjoyed Bride. But this seems to be a paranormal romantic comedy similar to Bride, and, that's why I got it. I thought it would be cute if I just picked this up. Next up, I have 2 books that are part of a series, actually. So I have The Prison Healer and The Gilded Cage. And apparently there's a 3rd book, which I just realized was on the back. I don't know why I didn't just look at the back before, because I was thinking, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if this book has a 3rd book or not. And it does. I don't know, like I said, I don't know why I didn't just look with my eyes at the back of the book. So we have The Prison Healer and The Gilded Cage. This book is essentially about a girl her name's Kiva. She has spent the last 10 years fighting for survival, and she's working as a prison healer, and her task is to keep this terminally ill woman alive while she undergoes these trials that the Order are having. So that's her task, and that seems to be the overall synopsis of the books. I don't actually know that much about it. I just picked it up because I saw a TikToker I liked read this series, and a YouTuber I really liked read this series. So I was like, I'm gonna read it. So that's why I got these books. But yeah, those are the books that I got at Barnes & Noble this week. Before that, I haven't been in Barnes & Noble in a while, because things just, you know, life. I was originally just gonna get the 2 books, but I picked up I picked up the Gilded Cage because it was there, and I was like, why not buy it now? So I just buy it later, you know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I don't actually have a set schedule for when I post. I just kind of post when I feel like it. And that just seems to be my vibe. Actually, fun fact, by the time that you guys watch this, I will be in Florida on vacation. This video is going to go up when I'm on vacation because I'm going to be gone the last week of February, and I wanted to get a video pre-recorded while I was gone. So, you know. Anyway, that is all I have. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, I already said that. I'm terrible at outros and intros. I don't really have an intro, do I? Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.